Okay, I'm going to continue along here. So we're at question 3, and this is going to be an accounts receivable. Um, so what we need to do is um, build a chart. So fortunately, my Excel spreadsheet, my understanding is I'm going to share my screen. I don't believe you can see my Excel, so I'm just going to do an Excel. But basically, what I'm going to do is take these numbers and put them into a chart. Put them into a chart, and I'm just going to multiply the percentage by the total accounts receivable. So what that will do is get me total amount, the total amount that is expected to be uncollectible. So for instance, 2,050,000 multiplied by 1.25% is 25,625. And then move that along here, so 971 multiplied by 2%, 19,000. At the end of it, I will get a total, and that total will be my new allowance for doubtful accounts. So in this case, once I've multiplied this by this, this by this, and all 5 of them down, I get 125,180. I can check my work here real quick, and it is correct. So again, you just set these up in a chart and multiply them out across. Now what you need to be thinking about is that this already has, the allowance for doubtful accounts already has a credit balance. It's already got a balance. What we want is for this number to be the new balance. So if we have a balance of 42 and we want the new balance to be 125, well, we're not going to credit our allowance for doubtful accounts for the full amount. We are going to only credit it for the difference because it's a credit. If it's a debit balance, we would add it up. So let's have a look. 125, 180 minus 42,000 is 83,180. So this would bring the balance back up. Look, here we go, just like that. So again, I would recommend using a T-chart. So this would be your current balance. Your new balance would be this. So what do you need to do? Well, you need to credit that difference here to get to this balance. Have a look here. Okay, you'll see this is the chart that I was referring to. And the T-chart allows for doubtful accounts. So we're at 42, then we'd have to add 83 to get it to 125. Right, so we are going to have Window Washing Services prepares adjustments monthly and shows the following selected accounts on its December 31st, 2020 unadjusted trial balance. So we are doing monthly adjusting entries. So that's something that we all needed to work on in our midterm. So make sure you practice your adjusting entries. We've got, so the remaining balance in the prepaid insurance was for a 6-month insurance policy purchased for 7440 and in effect on September 1st, 2020. So this is on December 31st. So of our prepaid insurance, we had 37,720 here. So the reason why this balance is lower is that they've been adjusting this down monthly the entire time. So we need to take our 7440, we just need to divide it by 6. And we get 1,240. So every month they're going to move their insurance expense up by 1,240, and they're going to reduce their prepaid insurance by 1,240. $5,200 of the balance in prepaid office rent had not been used as at December 31st, 2020. Okay, so we had office rent, and we just need to bring it down from 23,000 to 5,200. So we can just take the difference there. Equals 23,000 minus 5,200, 17,800. So we just need to reduce it so we can add our rent expense for 17,800. Bring down our prepaid rent, 17,800. That's going to reduce 23,000 down to the remaining balance of 5,200. 1140 of the balance in prepaid subscriptions has been used as of December 31st. 1140 of the balance in prepaid subscriptions has been used. All right, so we just need to expense that 1140. So we have subscription expense and our prepaid subscriptions of 1140. So this one is not a new balance. This one just tells us exactly how much that we did use. And we've got a depreciation. So this is prepaid equipment rental, so every month. So this is for 3 years, so it's 36 months total. 33840 divided by 36 is 940 a month that we're going to expense our equipment rental expense. Say 940. Reduce our prepaid. And this should be the subscription expense. So that's all that is. Again, just a silly little error here. Just make sure you check your work. I would have hoped that I would have seen that I used the same account twice there when I was checking my work. Oh, if the above adjustments were not recorded, identify the types of accounts that would be affected if they be overstated or understated. Okay, so let's think about this. But prepaid insurance, prepaid. So all of these would be overstated because we have reduced them, right? Because we had to reduce the prepaids all here. All of this prepaids. All of our expenses would be understated because that's what our equity would be overstated because we don't have the loss, and so would our profit. Let's have a look. Okay, right? Because all of our prepaids are coming down. So if we didn't bring them down, they'd be too high. That would affect our profit, which would affect our equity, and so would our expenses. Right, so remember our rule of thumb for closing entries, read, R-E-I-D, right, read. So we're going to start by closing our revenue. Revenues have credit, so we need to debit them. So let's have a look and see which ones are our revenue. We've got professional revenue and rent revenue. Professional revenue 199,480 and rent revenue 22,000. So read revenue into income summary. And the total here, we just add these up, would be 199 plus 22,500 is 221,990. 221,980. Yep, okay. Now E, we're going to do our expenses. So we know it's going to be debiting our income summary because we have to credit all of our expenses. So our expenses are here. So we have our depreciation expense, starting with building. Equipment. We had wages expense next. We've got interest, then insurance. Expense. insurance, and then we've got supplies expense, telephone expense, and utilities expense. And I'm just going to take the totals from above. $19,300 plus $130,400. Okay, now I don't know. So we have higher credits. That means we're going to debit our income summary again. Load capital. So the amount was 221,980 minus 130,100, 91,580. And we just have to close the withdrawals. The withdrawals have 2,300, so we will credit the withdrawals because they have a debit balance right now of 2,300. We'll debit the capital, which will reduce the balance. That is D, the withdrawals, the D. Let's have a look and see what we did. We made an error here. I've actually just added these up wrong. So I didn't check that, which, let's see, 19,000 plus 7,300 plus 6,300 plus. This is good that these little errors are happening. I mean, they're all just stupid little adding or missing something or duplicating. It's just important that, yeah, 129,740. It's important that you check your work. Like, you just go through with the calculator after 129,740, because this is like such an easy one. My debits and credits don't balance, right? Like, it's all pretty much there. Change this. So 221,980 minus 129,740, 92,240. So just go through and check your work after. Some of these, like, if you know what you're doing, it's just so annoying to give marks back on just little things like that. Now it's getting embarrassing here. All right, let's make sure I wrote these down right. Appreciation 19,3, 73, 63,3, 540, 17, 12, 10, 3,700, 500. Those are all of my expenses. I don't believe I'm missing any. I'll just double check though. Yeah, so I must be rushing. Okay, 19,300 plus 7,300 plus 63,300 plus 540 plus 17,300 plus 12,100 plus 3,700, 6,500, and 3,040. I just 130. Yes, it's just literally an adding error. Definitely frustrating. Okay. All right, so we've got 91,940 here. There we go. Okay, I'm going to just take a second here and pause and upload this part 2, and then I'll continue on with the final 2 questions.